Liz joins us in studio now to talk about the great initiative in the Diocese of Worcester. Liz, thanks so much for being with us again.
Thank you, Jay. Thank you, Father.
Liz, great to see you.
And with
Wonderful
all
to be here.
this tough weather, it's not too tough today, but you came in, so we appreciate that.
Little four-wheel drive. If you live in New England, you got to have
You
it.
gotta have that.
Yeah.
Tell us about NEW, New Evangelization Diocese of Worcester.
So it's New Evangelization Worcester for youth and young adults. I took over the department about 3 years ago, and we thought we needed a little bit of a facelift, especially with St. John Paul II's call for new evangelization, some new ardor, some new methods and expression. So we gave our department a little facelift, a new logo, with the Eucharist is the focus on the logo, which is wonderful. And and just really trying to stress how can we reach out to the youth and young adults of the diocese in a new way.
I love the URL, New Worcester, 1W, newworcester.org. Great URL, easy to remember. But I have a question for you.
Sure.
Now you serve, no, this is not too tough. You served in a parish as a youth minister.
Yes, I did.
But now, being responsible for youth ministry in an entire diocese, what's the difference? Is it a greater challenge or just
yeah,
different?
so there are some similarities. I mean, we're still doing retreats and events, and still have intercessory prayer, for all our young people and for our team that helps lead them. But yes, things are on a much bigger scale now.
Sure.
And so now, one of the biggest challenges for me, especially after being a youth minister, was not getting to see the teens consistently week after week, and so staying in touch, with what's going on with youth and young adults. So I love our Theology on Tap that we have once a month, because that puts me in touch with the young adults, on a regular basis. But otherwise, with the teens, I don't get to see them unless we do events, and so I have to venture out to the parishes to go to meet them and to keep abreast of what's going on. The other challenge, I think, is now you've got this broader audience, and you've got parishes and have very much their own culture, and so you don't want to just storm in and say you should do it this way or that way, but getting to build relationships with them, find out where they're at, what their needs are, and how that you best can serve them.
No small task either, because how many parishes are there?
So we're at about 100 parishes now. Yeah.
So it's a lot to keep track of.
Yeah, I try to compare it to, I had 125 kids in our youth program.
Now it's just parishes.
Now it's parishes.
Now it's parishes.
Yeah, so now I'm more in contact with the faith formation leaders and the pastors than I am necessarily in direct contact with their teens.
Now I have a couple teenagers, and then one who's not a teenager yet, and what I find challenging is it's so different today, where they're on devices all the time. They can literally have all their friends over and they don't talk. They sit on their devices and they'll type to each other who's sitting right next. Is it a different environment today than it was years ago?
It very much is, and I think that's something that we're trying to convey. We do a Vital 3.0 training for our parishes. We have 33 of the 100 parishes involved so far. It's a 2-year process, so they're really making a big commitment to sort of re-educate themselves on where millennials are and the next generation that is coming up and how we can best serve them. So sometimes that means saying to them, all right, well, I want you to pull out your phones, and then they look at you and they're shocked. And you say, and I want you to look up the following Bible verse. So now you're getting to them to use their phone in a good way. But yeah, it's hard because they are so connected. When we go on retreats and we ask them to leave the phone behind, you might as well have thought we disconnected their umbilical cord or something. So yeah,
I can imagine.
It definitely is a challenge. And they're in a place now where they're all about belonging first, because don't forget, they didn't inherit the faith like those of us, this generation did. So they are making a choice for the faith. And so I think we have to keep that in mind, because what is the church that we're giving them, and is that a choice they want to make?
Pope Francis called Padre Pio, we just saw a story about that, Kevin had the news, a river of mercy, and this is a great gift to the Church, the Year of Mercy. Any special events to celebrate?
Yeah, well, I'm actually leaving with a group of women next week for Haiti, so we're on a mission of mercy for a week, which is wonderful, and then World Youth Day with the Boston Archdiocese in Fall River, which is really exciting.
Going to Krakow.
Yeah, so we're very much looking forward to that, but we actually have a year-long Mercy Challenge that we are hosting. And so it's part of our website, and you can find out more information there. But it's great because what we're doing is we're asking the individuals in parish groups, could be your own little CCD class, to get together and to try to live out the mercy that the Pope is asking us to in a new way. So if you, for instance, made a Thanksgiving basket and brought it down to the church for Thanksgiving, that's great. But you never get a chance to actually encounter our brothers and sisters in Christ who are on the margins. So we're saying now this year, let's take it one step further. Go maybe to a food pantry and bring that basket, or serve in the food pantry. So it's a year-long challenge. And when the kids meet the challenge, they give us a call, and we give them a Mercy Challenge wristband to show that they've met the challenge, and they can get as many as they want. The idea is that they'll keep it up for the whole year. So maybe for the 40 days of Lent.
I was just thinking that.
You were thinking, what should I do? So
Maybe I could do
we're
that.
actually going to we're putting out, starting tomorrow, we're putting out 40 days of mercy, and one thing you can do every day. So if you're looking to change it up, that might be a venue for you. Like, don't be sarcastic.
Sold.
We're starting tomorrow.
Well, why do you say that to me?
But the following day it might just be, when you're, when you're driving in your car, you're going to just be more patient, and especially if you're a Boston driver.
Well, you know me too well. This is not going well for me.
By the way, when you were young, did you take the batteries, dying batteries out of
No,
your
but you
toys
know
and put
what
them on
we
top of
did?
them?
I was thinking of you, as my mother always said, put them in the refrigerator to make them last longer.
Well, that's kind of opposite of what I'm doing.
So that's to preserve them. You're trying to give them
A little
bit of
life.
extra shelf life.
What's your
yes.
greatest joy doing this, Liz?
Oh, well, I have to say, and that's what I was saying about not being with the teens as much, is just being around them. They're just so full of life and so full of hope. And yeah, I mean, we have, the church has such a great message. Jesus Christ has such a great message. And so when you have a moment where you connect with a young person and just see how God is working in their life, that is the best.
And where can people learn more about new evangelization in the great Diocese
Yes,
of
well, we
Worcester?
have a wonderful website at www.newworcester.org. We're also on Facebook at New Worcester, and on Twitter, Worcester New, because New Worcester was already taken.
There you go. Well, Liz, thanks so much for being with us and
Thank
for the
you.
great work that you do. This has been a lot of fun.
Same here. And
now
good
I
luck
know-
with your
I know
Lenten
what to do
challenge.
now.
All right,
Now
I
I know
so.
what to
Well,
do.
check out our Facebook, because we'll have it every day for 40 days. We'll have
I will
something
be on that
different listed.
Facebook.
And
Okay.
that mask is for you right there.
Thank you.
To celebrate
I appreciate it.
Mardi
There you
Gras.
go.